Before summer 2023, the highest grossing movies looked like this, and this, and this, and also this, and this. And then we finally got Barbie. Yes, it's a girly movie, but what's more exciting is that this is a girly movie that visually looks good and has a high production value. Usually we'll get cute girly movies, but a shoestring budget, or big budget movies that are really for the family that somehow can't seem to make a dress. Meanwhile, the guys get endless, cool-looking blockbusters, and we have to settle for whatever this is. A movie that looks like Barbie, feminine and high quality, is so rare. But what makes Barbie's visuals truly stunning is how smart they are. And sure, there's the obvious, Barbieland is pink and perfect, and the real world is messy and flawed, and that's life, but there is so much more in the details. So I'm gonna go through what I love about the sets and costumes, and also analyze how well the designs relate to the broader story. Because more than anything, this is a visual representation of growing up, especially for girls. Barbie isn't a perfect movie, but it is a beautiful one, filled with so much passion and creativity. So let's talk about it. In Barbie, every Barbie doll that is played with in the real world comes to life in Barbieland. This world looks exactly like you'd expect it to because of the accurate references of real-world Barbie toys. The fold-out hospital car is like so many fold-out Barbie playsets and looks like Barbie's 2018 care clinic. Skipper's house is a replica of the 2021 Chelsea treehouse. Barbie's pink convertible references the 1980s toy version. The beach references several Barbie beach playsets and has carved unicorns in the rocks, which references the Magic of Pegasus animated Barbie movie. Barbie's dream house isn't a direct replica of a specific dream house, but an interpretation of the essence of the dream house. It has the iconic open walls, stickers as tangible items, and a slide from the top floor to the bottom. Since this isn't a realistic house, they could take liberties with the designs, like putting the fridge in the chimney. The dream house architecture is grounded in the 1950s and 60s since Barbie was released in 1959, but since she's still relevant, it includes references from every era from the 50s until modern day. There's retro-looking furniture, but modern glass doors. If you've ever played with Barbies, you know that they are massive in comparison to their accessories. So the car and house were shrunk down by 23%, and the props were all enlarged to give that oversized doll effect. Because Barbieland is a toyland, the fire, water, and earth are all plastic. This intricate attention to detail is what makes this world look right. You look at this and think, of course, this is what Barbieland looks like. The nostalgia feels lovingly sprinkled in rather than cheap callbacks. Greta Gerwig, the director, had a genuine love for Barbie as a kid. Without such a strong passion and vision, I don't think this world would have the same authenticity. Even though so much of the visual foundation already exists from Mattel, it takes a certain skill to translate it to the screen. For example, Disney, I've talked about this so many times, but Disney struggles so hard to adapt their already gorgeous animations to live action realism. I've mentioned before how disappointing it was for me that Beauty and the Beast looks like a cartoonish set rather than an actual village in France. Coincidentally, Barbie and Beauty and the Beast actually have the same production and set decorator, Sarah Greenwood and Katie Spencer. But in Barbie, that fake look works perfectly because it's supposed to look like a plastic toy set. Sarah and Katie did such a beautiful job physically putting together this world. And don't get me wrong, they've done Oscar-nominated work on several movies. Beauty and the Beast is just the only one I don't really love. So it just goes to show how important collaboration and vision is to make an amazing final product. Like Barbieland, Barbie's fashion references several real Barbie outfits, from 1959's debut Barbie to 1994's hot skatin' Barbie to 1964's dancing doll Barbie. Many of the dresses in the disco scene are recreated from various white and gold outfits of past Barbies. Barbie's jumpsuit references the 1980s Golden Dreams Barbie. Even the mermaid outfits and hair look exactly like the shiny, synthetic look of the actual mermaid dolls. I am going to touch on more of Barbie's outfits throughout this video, but if you want a historical look at every doll or fashion reference, Modern Girls has a really great video on that. Just like her dream house, Barbie's style pays homage to different time periods rather than one era, because Barbie is everything. Several of these outfits are also inspired by costumes in movies that Greta felt captured the aesthetic of Barbieland. Barbie's closet was also inspired by the automated closet in Clueless and a Barbie doll box. Fashion is so important for this movie, and I love how seriously it's taken. Her outfits are nostalgic for girls of all ages, but also feel timeless. As the costume designer Jacqueline Duran said, Barbie really is interlinked with fashion because how you play with her is by dressing her. It's her fashion that helps her transform into anything. I know that as a little girl myself, it was her outfits that attracted me to Barbie, so it's so satisfying seeing such beautiful, high-quality versions of it as an adult. I really wish I could say the same for the Disney princesses or the Winx Club. Because Barbie is meant to be an inspiration to little girls, Barbieland is stereotypically feminine. Barbie's bed is seashell-shaped, referencing the painting of the birth of Venus, who is the Roman goddess of love, beauty, and fertility. The color palette consists of light pastels, which are often associated with sweetness and innocence. Pink is Barbie's signature color, and so naturally, it's the primary hue of Barbieland. They used so much pink that you may have heard they did cause a world shortage of pink paint. Pink is also the color of femininity and love, two things that Barbie stands for. In fact, the Barbies believe they've solved all women's problems in the real world by merely existing. There are also sparkles and flowers, soft materials like velvet and fluffy shoes. The land itself resides in the shape of a heart, while the city sits beneath an everlasting pink rainbow. But while this aesthetic is beautifully feminine, pink and glitter can also be seen as ditzy or superficial. Barbieland reinvents this association. You can be president and like sparkles, and it doesn't diminish how the Barbies perceive you. Stereotypical Barbie's style is also stereotypically feminine. She matches the general idea we have when we think of a Barbie doll, but not every Barbie is hyper-feminine. Some wear pants and others wear Crocs, so there is a variety of feminine expression. In fact, a key element of Barbieland is that it is an idyllic oasis for Barbie. When you look at this world, you can't help but feel happy. There are vibrant colors, the girls are joyful, and it's always sunny. The architecture is not only reminiscent of dream houses, but also the flat vacation houses of California's Palm Springs. Along with the flamingos and palm trees, Barbie's neighborhood feels like a beachy 5-star resort. The lack of walls on these houses also emphasize how there's no shame or embarrassment in Barbieland. The girls don't mind that everyone can see them at all times. But that's probably because Barbie always looks ideal too. In early concepts, they tested making her look plastic, but realized she actually represents the best version of oneself. So her skin is airbrushed rather than shiny. Her makeup is classic rather than dramatic. Her hair is over-exaggerated, but still believable. And all of these hairstyles were created from 18 different wigs and 30 hair pieces, all dyed slightly differently to match each scene. Barbie's outfits also always match what she's doing, from sleeping to the beach to dancing, and she has the iconic oversized jewelry to go with everything. Actually, all the Barbies seem to match each other all the time, like this Hawaiian vibe versus the nautical vibe on the different beach days. But while Barbieland looks perfect, it's only perfect for the perfect Barbies. The visual aesthetic isn't inclusive of the odd outcasts or the preferences of Ken, who only exists as Barbie's accessory. This contrast is most visually apparent at Barbie's disco. All the girls have their own beautiful, unique outfits, and all the Kens are in the same jumpsuit, just with slight variations. But while every day may look great for Barbie, every day is the same. The perfectly accessorized outfits are pre-planned, so they don't express any true creativity. Barbies also don't have real mirrors to judge themselves in, and they don't even have to drive. The world is just as predictable, contained, and safe as it looks. Until Barbie has thoughts of death, and all the perfect visuals change for the worst. Her breakfast burns, her hair shortens, her feet flatten, and she discovers discovers cellulite. While her clothes remain feminine and sweet, the loving pink she previously wears shifts to a sad blue. Her shoes still match her outfit, but now they're painful and the heel isn't even that high or narrow. I love that she wears socks now, as if to cover up how imperfect her feet have become. Her blue darkens when she begrudgingly seeks the help of Weird Barbie, the outcast who cares for discontinued and malfunctioning dolls. Weird Barbie presents her with a choice of 2 shoes to solve her problem. This references the red blue pill choice in The Matrix: pick an uncomfortable reality or a safe lie. The safe heel is the exact heel she wears in the beginning. The Birkenstock is a new and unfashionable option, at least in Barbieland. Stereotypical Barbie's greatest fear is change, especially if it means wearing an ugly sandal or looking like Weird Barbie, odd and different. The way Barbie and Barbieland are presented in the beginning is very much a reflection of childhood. As kids, we can imagine anything, but as we grow up, we start to realize maybe there are limitations. Young girls start to deal with the similar fears that Barbie has, the fear of acceptance or not looking pretty enough. Sometimes it feels like life was easier as a kid. If you had the choice to face those challenges or not, picking the ideal childlike world might be more desirable. I mean, everything just looks so perfect. Barbie's story begins in a fantasy world and she travels to the imperfect real world. It's the opposite of Dorothy's journey in The Wizard of Oz, which was a major visual inspiration for the movie. The gorgeous hand-painted backdrops were influenced by the sound stages of Oz, and Barbie's pink gingham dress is similar to Dorothy's blue one. The pink road she travels references the yellow brick road, and the pink rainbow that Barbieland lives under could be a reference to Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Transitioning from the creative dreamland of childhood to adult reality very much feels like The Wizard of Oz in reverse. The portal Barbie travels through blends all of that together. It's a mix of random 2D landscapes, which feels like a nonsensical dream, and the designs look like a kid's arts and crafts project. I'm so obsessed with how all of these sets were practically made. The outfits change to match each scene, of course, and all of these locations were such a great way to reference real Barbie vehicles, like the speedboats, camper van, and snowmobile. When Barbie leaves for her journey, she's back in her comfortable pink to symbolize her optimism. Now she knows how to fix her malfunction and encouraged by the opportunity to be thanked for inspiring girls. In the real world, Barbie must help and find the girl who is playing with her, and therefore changing her to help herself. But in contrast to Barbieland, Barbie looks entirely out of place here, and she feels like it. Barbie strategically rollerblades into Venice Beach, California, even though the more obvious choice would be Malibu Beach, reminiscent of the iconic 1971 Malibu Barbie. Especially since Barbieland references Malibu Beach, why don't they end up in the real-life version? Malibu Beach is calm, pastel, and affluent, like Barbieland. Venice Beach is vibrant, edgy, and less luxurious. Barbie's first taste of the real world is discomforting, so she arrives in a place that doesn't look like home. Barbie's neon outfit is so extreme that she stands out even in a place like Venice Beach, which already has colorful characters. Normally, this outfit would be celebrated in Barbieland for its fun style, but here she's mocked for looking different. The threatening attention leads her to experience self-consciousness for the first time. Barbies support one another. Why don't humans? This outfit is also a sexier, modern take on the doll reference. What Barbies wear is never perceived as sexual since they can't reproduce and relationships are purely emotional. The opposite is true in the real world, and Barbie is objectified. With so much sexualized attention, she's motivated to change into less revealing clothes, but she receives the same treatment, so maybe it wasn't the outfit anyway. The Western look she chooses is Barbie's idea of America. Barbie dresses perfect for every occasion, so what's more American than a cowgirl? And what's more Barbie than hot pink? Note that she still manages to accessorize this outfit with a matching hat. This scene is also a reference to a similar fish out of water scene in the 1969 movie Midnight Cowboy. Visually, the real world looks imperfect in comparison to Barbieland. The colors are grayish and desaturated rather than bold. The trees grow and die, unlike the plastic ones that stay perfect. These visuals begin to reveal that the real world may be more flawed than she expected. But Barbie experiences her real reality check with Sasha, the girl she thinks is playing with her. Sasha is dressed as the antithesis of Barbie. Sasha wears a loose-fitting top and pants in all black. It's more masculine, harsh, and rebellious. Black is also a powerful color, and Sasha gives Barbie a harsh reality check. Barbie didn't solve women's issues. In fact, she's a symbol of the opposite. Barbie sees some flaws in the real world which worried her, but this conversation reveals the flaws girls see in her, which destroys her. The way she looks, pink, blonde, and pretty, like stereotypical Barbie, only reinforces Sasha's point that she's not a good role model. Her friends are also in black, and together they reference Bratz dolls, Chloe, Yasmin, Jade, and Sasha. This is hinted at since Sasha's mom calls her Bunny Boo, the same nickname for the Bratz Sasha. Bratz are historically the competition to Barbie. The two have a very long history of legal battles with each other, and Sasha is an unexpected force against Barbie. After Barbie breaks down, she loses her hats. It's a theme throughout this movie for Barbie to remove her accessories when she isn't feeling like herself. I do wish we explored Sasha's opinions more because this is the last we kind of hear about them. The Bratz slogan is "the girls with a passion for fashion" versus Barbie's "you can be anything." It would have been so fun if Sasha and Barbie bonded over clothing. Sasha's style does become pinker and more feminine as she gets closer to Barbie, but I wish there was a concrete reason why this happens, especially when she initially is so strongly against her. However, Barbie does experience some moments of beauty in the real world. The real world might not look perfect, but there is so much beauty if you want to see it. Mattel's headquarters reflect a self-aware force against change. The basement offices are prison-like. It's made of bleak concrete, is devoid of color, and boring. There's no play here, just work, even though this is a company that manufactures toys. The uniforms are identical, representing the mundane life of lowly office workers. Erin is subsequently treated as less than by the head executives. At first glance, it might seem off that Mattel doesn't look like an ordinary office. We're in the real world, so why does this look so cartoonish? But Mattel is the bridge between the real world and Barbieland. They created Barbieland, and they literally keep a ghost on the 17th floor, so it isn't too off that their offices fall between cartoon and reality. In contrast, the top-level office is shiny and vibrant. This is a business meets Barbie. The desk is in the shape of a heart, chairs are wrapped in pink velvet, and the entrance has a painted rainbow. It's ironic that the top office is so feminine and yet it's filled with men, specifically yes men to the CEO. It's a jarring visual for Barbie, and it's a satire of corporate diversity, marketing one thing like female agency and empowerment, but operating in the opposite way. There are no women in positions of power here. Mattel's desire is to maintain the status quo. They are anti-risk and anti-change, as most corporations are. To avoid disruption in the real world, Mattel must put Barbie back in her box, which is a literal example of boxing her in. Her place is in Barbieland and nowhere else. The box itself is such a good replica of actual Barbie boxes and doubles as a prison cell. The "she's having the best day" sticker is clearly a lie. She left Barbieland because she was having the worst day, and the metal twist ties are like handcuffs. The experience gives Barbie a flashback to her past, which is another indicator that Barbieland represents childhood. Barbie rejecting the box is a visual and literal representation of defying expectations and choosing growth. When Barbie escapes, she does so independently and through problem solving, showcasing a greater independence than her automatic life in Barbieland. Learning these skills is only possible because Barbie actively chooses a path of growth rather than routine. This is exactly what Skillshare can help you achieve, and they are so kindly sponsoring this video. Now I have a reality check for you. How are your 2024 goals going? If you're like me, really well. Or maybe this is your sign to get out of your box and learn something new, like fashion design, interior decorating, storytelling. But who wants to figure out where to start and where to go next? You could just use YouTube, but you'd still have to weed through for a playlist, and if you find one, it could be unorganized or outdated. At that point, it's easier to just stay in your box. and cry. But Skillshare solves this with learning paths. They curate their premium creative focus classes into guides, so you can easily go from beginner to advanced without having to search up how to get there. I'm taking this path on video editing. First, I learned easier techniques like J and L cuts. Now I'm on advanced skills, then I'll learn optimization and master the full process. Greta Gerwig, watch out. Maybe you want to write your own characters or sew your own dresses. You can do that on Skillshare. And luckily for you, the first 500 people to join with my link will get a month free trial of Skillshare, which is way better than the usual 7 days. Get started today. Achieve your 2024 goals. Thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Meanwhile, Ken has found the real world empowering, but because it's too hard to be successful there, he brings a surface level idea of, quote, patriarchy to Barbieland instead. The visuals of Kendom represent stereotypical masculinity. Kendom is littered with a frat boy, bachelor pad-esque style. There are cowboy references, leather couches, workout gear, flat screens, trucks, beers, and mini fridges. Kendom is messy and uncoordinated because it's a satire on a typical dude's place and because the land is in literal chaos. Like the hyper-femininity of the woman-led Barbieland, the male-led Kendom is hyper-masculine. Since Ken was devalued in Barbieland, when he sees a celebration of masculinity for the first time, he feels empowered. And this is exactly what a little girl might see in Barbie. In a world where masculinity is seen as powerful, a feminine power figure is inspiring. In a world where femininity is seen as powerful, a masculine power figure is inspiring. Ultimately, anyone should feel like they can achieve anything. It's also really interesting to consider why these specific set decorations were chosen. Why does this look masculine and this look feminine? Why do we associate certain traits to things? Why is beer and leather and blue for guys? Who decided that? Was it other men or was it marketing? There's probably a lot of factors, but did you know that Barbie wasn't always associated with pink? The packaging only became pink in the 1970s, and it was a marketing decision to brand her in the toy aisle. Even more so, the color pink used to be considered masculine because it's just a tint of a powerful red. Blue was feminine because it's more delicate. Now it's switched. The trends and ideas society projects onto people are very powerful, but can also be arbitrary. Are they really worth building your identity around? One thing I love about Kendom is how he becomes so obsessed with horses. Typically, when you think of who is obsessed with horses, it's little girls. I had an obsession with horses as a kid, but Ken just goes to the real world and sees a cool animal and he decides it's masculine. And this is a great example of how easily we can attach arbitrary associations to things. The other Kens accept Kendom immediately, but they are all attracted to what these visuals represent, not necessarily because they genuinely like them. Later, Ken even admits that mini fridges are pretty much useless. Even in the real world, being a guy isn't enough to be powerful. Ken is just attached to a manufactured ideal. The overflowing of masculine items is also a compensation for Barbie's lack of affection. Ken was created as an accessory to Barbie, and he believes he only exists for her. Because she ignores him, Ken has very little self-worth, so he begins to place his value in status symbols excessively. For example, after a woman in the real world asks him for the time, he wears a bunch of watches. He's internalized the first time he ever felt respected, especially because he didn't even have to do anything. For Barbie, he was never enough. But even now that he's stepped into his power, he's still inadequate for her. Ken puts glasses on so she can't see how sad he is, and because guys don't cry. I love how the song I'm Just Ken starts as a broody boy band music video, and he's just lamenting shirtless on the bed. The thing is, no matter how good you look, you can't make someone love you. Not only does Ken struggle to win Barbie's heart, he also feels inadequate to the other Kens. At Barbie's disco, Ken's jumpsuit is less flashy than Simu Ken's, who's always one-upping him. The Ken War, which is instigated by the Barbies making them jealous of each other, is one of my favorite sequences. Visually, there are no weapons, it's all toys. Umbrellas are used as shields, stick horses are real horses, and the fighting ends in a dance battle. This is an homage to the dream ballets of old soundstage movies like Singin' in the Rain. I love this scene so much. I think it's the best part in the movie. I love how they're all wearing all black with the pink socks and the blue and the pink together. It's like a blend of masculine and feminine. It's just so great. Ken's style has shifted from a pristine, groomed 1950s look to an edgier, rugged boy band look. His hair is messier and his clothes are darker and made with harsh leather. And now, he's always shirtless. Ken's mink coat is a reference to Sylvester Stallone, an iconic, powerful, and very masculine movie star, especially in the 70s and 80s. He played the boxer character Rocky, and you can see posters of this movie in the background of the gym that Ken sees. When Ken takes over, this is the first time that denim makes an appearance in Barbieland, which is another way to visually contrast the two versions. Unlike the uniform Ken style in Barbieland, the Kens become more individual in their fashion choices since they can finally experiment with self-expression. Ken's final outfit completes his arc perfectly. It's okay to be a man and to wear the rainbow, or to cry, or to not want power. Ken learns that he shouldn't define himself through Barbie, or by the things he has, or by the other Ken's acceptance, or the things society tells him he should be. His value lies within himself. He is Kenough. As well, during the Kendom reign, he tells Barbie that the Kens can finally do their hair how they want to now that the Barbies aren't in charge. So in this final shot, you can see he still has his messy hair and his headband because that truly is what he likes. When Barbie enters Kendom, her outfit reflects her optimism and isolation. At first, she wears a feminine, perfect, pastel matching set. Barbie is initially optimistic about becoming normal again, or becoming more like stereotypical Barbie. But a unique detail is that Barbie wears the same pastel shades as Ken did in the beginning. Now, Barbie doesn't feel worthy. When she encounters Ken's roadblock, she strips away to a desaturated layer. Barbie's desaturated version of this outfit reflects her identity crisis. As her hope drains, so does her color. She removes her heels, hat, and earrings. She's no longer vibrant or perfectly accessorized. Barbie doesn't feel like stereotypical Barbie anymore because she believes she's no longer pretty. To her, pretty means no ugly emotions, no change, stable and perfect, just like her first outfit. But now she's become her greatest fear, like weird Barbie. Weird Barbie is what happens when you play too hard with a Barbie. Actually, we can see that it was Gloria that played too hard with her. Weird Barbie's aesthetic is creatively independent. Weird Barbie is the only Barbie in Barbieland to have a different look. It's funky, mismatched, and not mostly pink. Weird Barbie's fashion is playful and creative, but definitely odd. It includes scribbles, paint splatters, and tinfoil, basically what a destructive child could get their hands on. At first, she wears a puffy, deconstructed high fashion dress and snakeskin boots, and then a tougher army look when they hatch a plan to save Barbieland. Mostly because of the way Weird Barbie looks, the Barbies in Barbieland ostracize her. Weird Barbie is punished for being her own person. The other Barbies may think they have an idyllic world for all Barbies, but the reality is the Barbies that don't conform are shunned. Her house sits underneath ominous rain clouds and is inspired by Boo Radley's house in To Kill a Mockingbird, who is also a misfit. It's also inspired by the Psycho house, which sits on the top of a hill because the other Barbies fear it. Weird Barbie's house contains kooky props, creative diagrams, and abstract decorations. These are all novelties you won't find in the rest of Barbieland. She's basically Barbieland's Mattel, self-aware of the real world, which is why she has a map and knows what a Birkenstock is. With all these unique differences, Weird Barbie happens to be one of the most knowledgeable Barbies in Barbieland. Weird Barbie is also a safe haven for discontinued dolls, which are all actual discontinued dolls. Weird Barbie has so many admirable qualities, but because she looks and acts different, nobody but the misfits give her a chance. Even when she rescues Barbie, Barbie is so depressed at the thought of even being like her. But really, Barbie's identity crisis stems from feeling like she's not enough. She used to be enough just by existing, but she realizes she's failed everyone, including women, Ken, and herself. Gloria, Sasha's mom and Mattel employee, reconciles Barbie's very human emotions because she's experienced the same thing. In fact, Gloria projected her negative thoughts onto Barbie since she didn't feel represented by her. Gloria made her weird, not Sasha. Gloria wears a bold, pink, energizing outfit here. She fits in Barbieland more than Barbie. But we first meet her in a boring business suit. Like Barbie, Gloria was suffering. She felt neglected by her daughter, tired and run down. But when she arrives in Barbieland, she gets to be a kid again, bonds with her daughter, and is creatively reinvigorated. Hence the happy clothing transition. Unlike Sasha, Gloria loves Barbie. She played with Barbie as a kid and with Sasha as a little girl. There are even hints of pink during Barbie's vision of this, to represent their connection. And even now, as an adult, she plays with Barbies, just with some realistic modifications. Barbie inspired Gloria, and now Gloria inspires Barbie. I don't love her speech, but I do appreciate the sentiment. Women shouldn't have to be extraordinary to be valued. Those are unachievable standards. What Barbie stands for is unachievable. What's realistic is doing your best. In the end, Gloria is dressed in a pink and purple business suit. She melds her experience in Barbieland with her real-world life. She suggests making ordinary Barbie because women should feel empowered by normalcy, not having to strive for perfection. To save Barbieland, the humans and misfit Barbies don pink jumpsuit uniforms as they go undercover. Again, her outfit matches the circumstance. As the costume designer thought to herself when creating this look, if Barbie's doing this kind of heist, what would she wear? Well, she'd have to wear a boiler suit. Barbie's hot pink dress is a perfect date night outfit for her to win Ken over. It's archival Chanel from the 90s, worn by model Claudia Schiffer. Chanel was a partner for several designs since Margot Robbie is a brand ambassador for them, and high fashion makes total sense for a fashion doll. Barbie later wears a feminine cowgirl outfit to match Ken's cowboy interests and to seduce and incite jealousy with the other Kens. By the end, Kenland reverts to Barbieland, but it looks different. All the dream houses have touches of weird Barbie, or in other words, touches of independence. There's orange and green, weird shaped cutouts and paint-splattered chairs. Barbie's bed has colorful velvet and sequins, and there are still touches of Ken's Mojo Dojo Casa House. So finally, he's included too. Each Barbie is also dressed in a version of their best self. All the actors were also asked for their inputs on these outfits, melding together what they would want to wear and what they would want their character to wear in this scene. The outfits are vibrant and different, not all pastel and traditional. They embrace uniqueness. The world is no longer extreme in one way or the other because there's no way that can really be inclusive. Ruth Handler, the inventor of Barbie, represents legacy and motherhood. Ruth is first depicted as a warm grandma. When Barbie finds Ruth at the Mattel headquarters, she's in a 60s-style kitchen. The colors are soft and warm, lit by sunlight. She wears a soft floral robe that just covers her old-fashioned matching blue sets and pearls, hinting at her true identity. It's a simple, timeless look, which the real Ruth, who passed in 2002, seemed to favor as well. On the sewing machine, she's making Barbie's pink gingham dress. Ruth hands Barbie some tea and their hands almost touch. This is a reference to the creation of Adam painting by Michelangelo. Ruth is essentially Barbie's mom, or her creator. She encourages her in a time of need, boosts her self-esteem, and gives her the freedom of choice for her future. Ultimately, what any good parent should do. And these are all things Barbie tries to do for little girls. For all the negative things Barbie is associated with today, she was revolutionary when Ruth invented her. The first scene is a reference to the movie Space Odyssey and the theme of evolution. Barbie was the first popular doll that girls could vicariously live through rather than take care of, and she continues to embody girls' dreams as they change each generation. At this point, Ruth's entire outfit is blue, like the blue Barbie wears when she shows signs of humanness. It's a sweet connection, but there is a visual separation too. Even though Ruth designed Barbie, she doesn't wear the signature pink. Barbie is an ideal doll that was never meant to reflect a real woman. She isn't even a direct reflection of her inventor or her mom, but she is an idea that can and has inspired. Barbie is Ruth's legacy. And like with children of every generation, Barbie can create her own legacy too. After all, she can be anything. The white backdrop and her final dress mark a new beginning. Barbie's yellow dress is the most flowy, soft, and shapeless outfit she wears. The dress is yellow because in recent years, one of the more popular Barbie dresses is yellow, though it's not a direct recreation of that dress. The yellow is hopeful and optimistic. The fabric is flowy because she no longer feels confined to the rigidity of Barbieland. Barbie also wears a simple, delicate heart locket and comfy, chunky white sandals. The heart locket is beautiful because Barbie learns to embrace the full scope of emotions that come with being human. Her standing among the simplistic white background says that just existing is enough. As a human, Barbie wears a beige outfit with light pink accessories, including a pink bag and pink Birkenstocks. She's still connected to Barbieland, but now her clothing is more grounded in reality. It's also a more mature, professional look, and her joining reality is also a reflection of becoming an adult. Lastly, her hair has now deflated to a normal amount, and this is still a wig, by the way. I really do wish Barbie's decision to become human was clearer because she has such a limited experience of the good in the real world that it's difficult to believe she would make this decision. But I do still really love this moment in the movie, especially with Billie Eilish's song playing over it. The only girly movie that I think is on par with Barbie in terms of the visual production is Cinderella 2015, and I've already made a whole video on that, so you can go watch that after this video. Maybe one day we will have just as many fun-looking, high-grossing movies as the broody ones. I hope you feel that you are enough. Have a great day, a lovely night, and thank you so much for watching.